Hi, boys and girls. I hope everybody is doing well. I decided to do a lesson with you today about the 3 different ways of spelling the words two, two, and two. I'm sure that when you were in kindergarten, you knew how to spell these words, T-O, T-O-O, and T-W-O. But you might not be able to tell the difference between when you're supposed to use which one of those versions of the word two. That was always something that was really difficult for me. I'll be honest with you, it was difficult for me sometimes right up through high school. And then somebody said something to me one day, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm hoping today when you see my PowerPoint that I put together for you, that you'll be able to quickly and easily be able to know which version of the spelling of the word two that you're going to want to use when you're writing. So bear with me for a minute while I share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you the PowerPoint. So I'm going to set this to slideshow, and we'll take it from the beginning. The name of my PowerPoint is Just What is the Difference Between Two, T-O, Two, T-O-O, and Two, T-W-O. The first version of the word two that I'm going to share with you, I'm pretty sure you probably already know this. In fact, like I said, you probably knew it in kindergarten. T-W-O is how we spell the number two. So when you're counting items or using numbers in any sort of way and you have to write them as a word, if you're using it as the number two, it's spelled T-W-O. I went for 2 walks today. We bought 2 new beach chairs. I have 2 eyes and 1 nose. The next version of the word two is spelled T-O-O. That's a little bit harder to figure out. Actually, if you can say the word also in place of the word two inside your sentence, then you're gonna want to use the word T-O-O when you spell it. Let me show you an example. Can I go too? If I could say, can I go also? And my sentence would still make sense with the word also there, then I know that I'm using the T-O-O version of the word to. Another way that you're going to use T-O-O is if you're describing in your sentence too many or too much of something. Let me show you an example. There is too much salt on these fries. Notice I use the word too with 2 O's because I'm talking about too much of something. The last way that you would use the version T-O-O is if you were putting it in front of an adjective. Now you might say to yourself, I don't remember what an adjective is. But I want you to remember nouns, persons, for people, places, and things, when you describe them, you're using adjectives. So if you're describing a person, an adjective would describe a person or a place or a thing. You might have to put the word to in front of your adjective. That dog is too noisy. Dog is the noun. Noisy is describing the dog. But you want to tell me that the dog is really noisy, almost too much noisy. So you would say, that dog is too noisy with 2 O's. The last version of or way to spell the word to is just T-O. When you use T-O in a sentence, you're usually showing some sort of movement of something. And I don't only mean like your body moving. I mean anytime you're showing that an item is being moved to somewhere else. You'll know what I mean in a minute. Here's a couple of sentences where we would use the version to. I am going to my grandmother's house. You're going to be moving your body to your grandmother's house. Another sentence. This is from me to you. Whatever you're giving me is moving from you over to me. So again, we use the shortened version of the word to. You also might find that you need to use the word to, in front of verbs. And if you don't remember what verbs are, that's okay. Verbs are words that show action or things that we do. Anything we can do is a verb. I will learn to drive. Drive is an action. It's something we do. So to drive has to be spelled T-O. She needs to sing louder. Sing is the action. It's something we do. To sing would be spelled T-O. Check out this really silly sentence that I wrote for you. I want to buy 2 presents to give to my friend, but they are too expensive. I was able to use all 3 versions of the word to in one long sentence. I want to buy. Buy is an action, so I'm using to in front of it. 2 presents, that's an amount, so I write the number 2, TWO. To give. Give is something we do, so I'm using TO. To my friend. The gift or the present is moving from me to my friend. Movement means you're using the shortened version. But they are too expensive. Remember a couple of slides back when we said that if something is too many or too much, we would use the version TOO? That's why we're using that too. One more time. I want to buy 2 presents to give to my friend, but they are too expensive. I know it's a lot to take in one PowerPoint, but let me give you a hint on what might make it easier. Remember when I said it was really difficult for me to learn this too when I was younger? So I had a teacher say to me one time, try a trick. And she said to me, if you can say your sentence and pronounce the word to like ta, then you want the very shortest version of the word to in your sentence. If you can't say ta, if it sounds wrong, if you pronounce it that way, then you want the longer version of the word to in your sentence, TOO. Let's try it and see if my teacher was right. I went to the store with Mom. I'm going to say that one more time a little bit faster and see if it sounds okay. I went to the store with Mom. I went to the store with Mom. If I heard somebody saying that to me, I wouldn't think that they were saying anything wrong. But I want you to listen to the bottom sentence if I pronounce to as ta. There are way too many cars in that line. I'll say it one more time. There are way too many cars in that line. That doesn't really sound right. Next slide, I'm going to show you the answers. Let's see if you were right. I went to the store with Mom. Do you see how I was able to say ta and it still is really meaning the word to? That's how I know I want to use the shortest version of the word to. Now listen again. The second sentence needs the longer version because ta just doesn't sound right. There are way too many lines. See, I can't even say it. There are way too many cars in that line. There are way too many cars in that line. We would never speak like that. So if we have to say the word to in order to make the sentence sound correct, then we need the longer spelled version of the word to. Last slide of my PowerPoint, I'm giving you an assignment to do. I would love for you to try to write me 4 sentences. The first sentence, I want you to try to write a sentence with the number 2 spelled as TWO. The second sentence, I would like you to try to write a sentence with the word to spelled TO. The third sentence, I would like to have you write with TOO. The fourth sentence, I want to see if you can do what I did. It took me a while, but I was able to put a sentence together that used all 3 versions of the word to. I want to see if you can do that as well. Now you have 2 ways that you can submit this assignment to me. You can either write it on a piece of paper and have somebody at home take a picture of it and then send it to me at my email address, which is down below here. Or if you know how to type in a Word document, you can type your 4 sentences up and with your name on top of your document, save it, go into your email, attach it in an email to me and send it off to me. I can't wait to see how many creative, great sentences I get from you guys. I miss you a lot. I'm looking forward to doing more short little lessons with you, and I really hope I get a lot of you to participate. See you later.